with that, and we're taking on a big question. Do I need more accounts or bigger accounts?
I don't know. How hard do you want to work?
Well, I don't want to have to work too hard. In fact, I'd like to get you work at the speed I am. I just want to make more money.
Well, then this is the right question for you, sir. The best way I can put it is if you have an account that maybe you charge $300 a month, a lot of smaller companies, probably where they're kind of starting, it might be a once a week account, might be around $300 a month. So how many accounts would you need to generate $3,000 of sales? You need 10,
Right.
okay, with that 10 buildings. Where are they? How far are they apart? Are they on the opposite side of town? How much are you going to have to, how many vacuum cleaners are you going to need?
Oh, so we're vacuum cleaners.
You need cleaners. You're going to do it yourself. You're going to bring one vacuum around, but then you got all the drive time. You've got all that extra. So those smaller accounts, you have to look at a lot differently. So if I can go out and get one $3,000 a month account, all right, I'm going to have to hire 2 people for that account. So I've got the labor of 2. I might get away with 1 vacuum cleaner if I'm buying a vacuum, as opposed to 10 or 10 uprights.
Sure.
And then even my chemical costs, because now I'm going to be able to afford to put a dilution center into a building, cut my costs down, make sure things are getting mixed at the right ratio. So it's taking care of the cost of my cleaning chemicals. It's increasing employee safety, and it's looking out for the client because we're using the products the way that they're made, the way that they're designed, the dilution they're meant to be used at, instead of free-falling, causing slip fall hazards by having the floor sticky or surfaces sticky that are going to allow for germs to go. So there's a big difference in how you look at these types of facilities. And if you're looking to scale your business, you want to make sure that you start looking at these larger businesses, because if you've always been selling those $300 to $400 accounts, you're spread thin. And that's 10 customers or 15 customers that you now have to perform customer service on. What happens if there's a glitch in your system because, we had a tornado, we had an earthquake, there was a snowstorm, COVID hit, and we had a large amount of people that were
Had a no-call, no-show.
Yeah. And some of the buildings, the way that our clients have it, you have a 2-hour window to clean, you have a 3-hour window to clean, the building's automatically alarm. And you get there 10 minutes, what are you going to do? You got 10 minutes, you do what you can.
Yeah.
So a larger building, you usually have more access to, longer access to, and you can usually juggle and have the crew help if the other person's out. And then the manager, usually if you have larger accounts, you have some type of a manager in place. The manager might have to go over for a given night and help out a little bit too. So larger accounts actually create less management work overall because the costs are going to be down to get them up and going. And then when you start getting paid on these larger accounts, your cash flow becomes a little bit better. When you look at the cash flow on the little accounts, making 20% on $200, $300, $400 is not the same as making 10% on $3,000.
Can I ask you a question regarding the age of cleaning company?
Yes.
Young cleaning companies, assuming that they have some experience doing what they're doing, they branch out on their own. Would you still recommend going after the big ones, or do they need to cut their teeth on some of the smaller?
They need to cut some teeth on because they have to figure out what are they good at.
Yeah.
They need to figure out if they even want to stay in this industry, because newsflash, it's a very negative industry. Nobody calls you up to thank you for the knot that you tied on the bag. They're going to call you for the one trash can out of the 1,000, and it's going to be a catastrophe because it was the CEO of that particular company's trash can that was missed on that day, and it caused a traumatic uproar in the entire company, and they didn't sell their largest client because he was all upset or she was all upset before they went to the board meeting.
I'm just acting sarcasm, but I get the point.
Yes, it's sarcasm.
Good.
But yes, that is kind of what happens, is that if you can't handle the complaints that come in with smaller companies, because think about it, right? What if you were the owner of the company and you just got done and you're small and you clean all the accounts yourself and you go home that night all whooped, you're tired, and you get a call at 7 o'clock in the morning when you're still sleeping, and it's someone saying, you didn't replace the toilet paper in the building last. Your first thought is, I know I did. That's everybody's thought, because nobody goes into work to do a bad job.
Right.
And everybody thinks they did a great job and they made no mistakes. So when it's actually you that does it, it's very hard to swallow that pride and say, okay, I'll be right there. Because you deep down think that you did it. And then you go and show up, and sure enough, you forgot the toilet paper.
But again, for those young cleaning companies, cut your teeth, get to know what sort of accounts you're good at, get to know what sort of accounts you want to be good at.
And then you start branching out. You can do that by some of the other episodes that we've talked about networking to get into and get past the gatekeeper.
Great advice, Joel. Thank you.
You're welcome.